Yeah, you gotta talk really into this thing.
It's not working.
Okay, the first one I'm going to read, I thought would be appropriate because it's yard sale time. Plus, I guess it's clean sweep week, and everybody's throwing their stuff on the roadsides, and those of us who are scavengers are driving along, hanging our heads out the window, looking for good stuff we want to grab. So this is about yard sales. Yard sales reveal human nature. It's time of the year for sunshine, flowers, picnics, cookouts, and yard sales. Yes, the time when wintertime hermits crawl out of their shelters and into the sunlight in the wee hours of the morning with one thought in mind, getting the best buys. They're like hunters rising early to surprise their prey, and hunt they do, through piles of clothes of all sizes and brands, hoping to find something their size, or scanning tables and tables of home appliances, glassware, and more. Just like anthropologists go through the remains of ancient camps, studying the tools and clothing people used in order to determine what sort of lives they lived, I couldn't help but speculate about the meanings of the things I saw for sale. For instance, I saw dozens of those electric sandwich makers, the ones everybody wanted a few years back until they found it was easier to toss their sandwich in a frying pan than it was to pull everything out of the cabinets to find the sandwich maker. After all, if you start pulling things out of your cabinet to find the sandwich maker, you will also have to pull out some of the many other things I saw at those yard sales, such as your miniature coffee grinder, which you used for a few weeks until you finally discovered that they make it already ground now. Your baked potato maker, great for a baked potato eating fanatic, but in a way not for an occasional tater eater. Your wok, Chinese food's okay now and then, but if it's occasional you want, why not just go to a Chinese restaurant? It's probably cheaper, too. What does the abundance of such appliances tell us about human nature? Perhaps that there was a generation of suckers who thought they could find happiness in elaborate, more complicated things, but soon found simplicity is where it's at, and perhaps that these former suckers are hoping to inspire a new generation of suckers by selling their goods. Yard sales create a fever inside you. It's like gambling fever. You're getting such good deals you don't know when to stop. You say 50-cent signs and begin to salivate, so you buy things you don't need and you can't take them back. And this actually has to do with Gary because I bought these cameras from him. I found a box full of security cameras at a yard sale last spring, and I was pretty proud of the fact that I only paid $5 for the camera until I went to a local home improvement store and ran into a friend outside the door. "What are you doing here?" Vane Colby asked. And I told him how I was looking for some wires to hook up my security camera and a small TV to use as a monitor. "I think they have those entire surveillance systems in there for a little bit of nothing," he said. But I already have this camera that I found for only $5 at a yard sale," I said. "I just need the wires to go with a monitor and a small TV." He repeated that the brand new security system may be as cheap as it would cost to get the wires and the TV for my yard sale find. Preferring to continue to savor the fact that my camera had only cost $5, actually only $1.666 if you consider the fact that there were 3 in the box, I continued on my quest to find wires in a miniature TV. As it turns out, I got the wires for, I don't know, maybe $5 or $10, depending on whether you count the wires that I bought that didn't work with the system, and the miniature TV for $20, making the whole thing cost about $30. As I was hanging out my window trying to attach the camera to the outside of the house, my neighbor decided to come over and observe my progress. I told him how I had purchased 3 cameras for $5 and had finally found the right wires and a small TV set for the monitor. I was so proud. His reply was, "I think you can get that whole system for a little bit of nothing over at Lowe's." I gritted my teeth with determination and continued screwing the camera to the side of the house. Finally, I had it set up. It was great. I could sit in my bedroom and watch cars coming up the driveway, and surely the threat of security cameras would discourage trespassers. But several weeks later, I was in Lowe's, and I did find the entire system for about $30. That really hurt. Maybe we do live in a disposable world, but where's the excitement in it all? Where's that feeling of accomplishment when you find this here and there and screw it all together and it actually works? I just don't get it. I mean, at a yard sale, you get just about everything for a little bit of nothing, but it might cost as much to fix it as it costs to buy a new one. And if someone offers you something for free, it's even worse. I was at a friend's house once, and he said he was going to throw out a bathroom shelf if I didn't take it. Not wanting to miss out on the great deal, I made a snap decision and began to maneuver it into the back of my tracker. Then I thought a second longer and decided I really didn't have room for it at my house, so I tried to pull it back out of the car and give it back. "You can't give it back once you take it. Those are the rules," he said. Drat. Sometimes I feel like sneaking into people's yards at night and giving back things they gave me. I wonder if I can get arrested for giving something without permission. Okay, now this next...